So hi there, welcome to lesson two. We shall be looking at two. They call them Stata expressions, but I call them functions too because I think that's the um, more appropriate words for them. Two Stata functions that greatly help you when you are trying to also check for consistency, even checking for counting, and some other things. So I'll let you into both of them. So one is called in range, and the other one is called in list. These two expressions or functions, as I appropriately call them, help you to check for consistency. In the last lesson, we looked at a woman who was pregnant, had a daughter, had a husband, and had a mother. And we realized that for certain qualifications, some things were not applicable. So we're looking at these two functions and how they help to check for inconsistencies. So I will just move on to the next slide and first take the first function, which is called in range. So remember a range. So basically, it's just a set of numbers, between the minimum and the maximum numbers. So the syntax is very clear. It's the variable or a value. That's interesting. People are not exploiting the power of that because they think in range is only used for variables. It can also be used for values. So if a particular variable or value is between A and B inclusive, that's A is the minimum possible value and B is the maximum possible value, it extracts. So an example, what is interesting too is that it also applies to um, string. So in range can be used to extract states that start with A up to F, and they can also be used for numbers. So regions 2 to 5. Now, note that the numbers too can be categorical variables, which are blue, numbers represented by words. So that's how it works. We also have the in list, and this is very interesting because just a list of values that may not be sequential. So you just list all the items. So in list usually longer than in range because you list all the um, values. So for example, in range, you say 1 comma 5 to talk about the range, 1 being the minimum, mark 5 being the maximum. But for in list, you have to say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for you to get the same results. But basically, it's meant for non-linear, non-sequential group of numbers or values. So you may have one, you may have two, then you have four and five without three. So this is when you use in list. So these are the kind of examples too. When we have in list, you can use Alaska, Colorado, or one, three, and five instead of one to five. So it has room for more options. So we're going to use these two functions in the practical session, and I'm sure it will get clearer by the by a lot of practice and interaction. So I'll see you in the practical session where we'll use a do file to apply the lessons learned for in list and for in range. So see you in the practical session soon. So welcome back. We're now looking at in range and in list, two very very powerful um, functions that are used within Stata. They are not commands, they are functions. So the best way to understand this is to just look quickly at the table we had in the last practical. So we had quite a number of options. So for example, you may want to group some services, personal services, professional services, and wholesale and retail, finance and real estate. So there's business and repair service. There are quite a number of services here. So let me start by tabulating industry. Now we know how to tabulate, don't we? So I will tabulate industry. So it gives me quite a number. So we may want to group some as so we may want to just look at those who are just doing services. So we have business and repair services, that's SCB. personal services, entertainment, and I don't know what, maybe recreation services, professional services. So these four services, you just want to see who they are, or many things you could do with that function. So you may want to do that. So let's check out that first. This is categorical variable, starting from what I consider to be tougher. So anything that had services in it. Professional service, the value is 11. Business service is 8. Personal service is 9. So professional service 11. This is 11. This is 9. Repair service is 8. So we have 8, 9, and 11. There was one more we saw. Let's just do in range first and then do the equivalent. Personal, okay, entertainment. So let's check entertainment. Now, of course, there are better ways of checking for this, but we're doing fundamentals right now. Okay, I have a filter going on. So let me just browse normally. Come back here and browse to have the full thing. So we had 8, 9, and 11. I assume the entertainment one will be 10, but let's not assume. Let's just check the value for recreation. Yeah, so that's it. So it's 10. So 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I wanted to do that, I would say browse in range, and then I will discuss the industry. The variable industry, comma 8, which is the lowest, to 11. Browse this range out for me. That's what it really does, So let's get it out. So everything we will see would have some kind of service in them, and we have maybe close to half 1,024 women who are in that category. So I've been able to filter out. But in range is good also for continuous variables like grade. You can see grade here. So let's say I was interested in grade 9 to 11. Now I change this industry to grade. I can also filter them out and view. So anything you see here on grade will be from 9 to 11. So that's how it works. But sometimes you don't have a straight a sequential range you're looking at. So but you have a group of numbers. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to change this to in list, and I'm going to use grade, but I'll use if it's 1, if it's 5, if it's 4, if it's 11, and if it's 7. Now you see I deliberately did not make it sequential. It just this function just looks for any of the things that matches the word, after the variable, any of the values that matches after the variable. So let's see what it looks like by running. So what we will find here will definitely be 1, 5, 4, 11, or 7. So I can see 7 here already. I saw 4, I saw 5 too. So that's how it works. So we have looked at in list and in range. Very straightforward. We do not have any what's the word here? String variables here, so it's quite difficult. So, but I will advise you to try for hours. How many people work between 40 to 60 hours? Try all the options you have, and let's see what you get. You can discuss in the comments what you have, what you've experienced. I'm glad to take it up from there. Okay, so now let's look at another data set. So we have CCUs here, and I think I want to use auto, comma clear. So we can also do in range and we put make. Since it is a string variable, we have to use alphabets. So it gets very interesting and I want you to watch what it gives you here. So this is A and this is C. Now, if you know how the alphabets work, if you write the alphabets, you write two words. One is A, the other is art. A comes first, then art. So let me just do some English words here in the comments so we get it. There's A. If you put it serially, then there's art, then there is as. You get it? So what I'm just trying to say is that A comes first. So there's no make of a car called A. I'm sure you can't find any now here in this data set. But what it does, it looks for that range. And C too. After C comes cat, and you can go on like that. Any other thing that starts with C. So when it says in range for A to C, it means everything that is within this. So if you want to capture, now you would think that if we run this, we'll capture C, because C is there right now. But let me just run it again. Sorry, so you get a good feel of what I'm saying. Let's just run it again. So when I run A to C, I don't get any C. And the reason is that C starts, some of those models starts with CH, CA. But if I had said CX, what's the last letter in C? Or CZ? Now what happens is that it goes into data and looks for CA, CB, CC, all that will also be captured. So let me do that now. You can see the difference. So you see all these C's, CH is being captured now, CA is being captured now. So this is card, I think a Cadillac, I get what it means. And then, I don't know what this is, I'm not a car person, but there's Chef Nova, Chef Monza here. So if I said CA, then CH will not be there. So let's try it. So just CA, not even, let's use CB rather, because it's looking at a spelling sequence. Okay, so you see CA is there now, Cadillac, but CH is missing. So if I had said CI, all those cars that start with CH will be there. Can you see them? They are there. So it's a bit technical, So the same thing will happen if I said D to G. If I'm not careful, some cars that start with G will not be there. So let's run that out now. So you see, there's no G, but it's possible that there may have been a G car if I put GZ. Okay, there's no G car. So, but bottom line, I'm sure you get the main gist of it. We are looking at a range, and that's how text works. So when we begin to do things like the string masterclass, we will emphasize this. So there's a way text is processed. It's different from the way numbers are processed. So that's how it works basically. And I hope you have been able to get something. Now, if you want to use in list for strings, you have to literally be very, very specific. It's looking at exact names. So I would have to specify Datsun 210, Datsun 510, Datsun 810. We have to be very specific, just like you were specific with the numbers when you were using in list. So try that out and let me know in the comments what you had. So let's see. I'll just give it to you. I mean, there's no need to. Let's quickly show you. Sometimes it's not just good for you to try it. Let's show you what it means, and then you can try another letter yourself. So I will take in list. That's 200, and then that's 250. 250. Sorry, there's no 250 actually. Let's do 510. So there's no one in that range. So you can see those are the two that came out, to be specific. So try other makes, maybe it starts with E or starts with F or whatever make of cars that you find there, and let me know what's your experience. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. It's getting exciting because right now we'll be going so deep and try to connect all these dots together. So see you in the next video. Thank you and bye.